Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome back to Open Your Eyes to the Universe. I'm Gabrielle Martin, your host for this evening. And as we begin our episode tonight, the Universe team, as always, likes to acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, to the sea, to community. And we pay our respects to their elders, past and present, and we also extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today. Last month on Youniverse, we were with Sister Mera Nagananda, and we were sharing a conversation on karma and destiny. And during this conversation, she unpacked these two great spiritual concepts and explained their relevance to everyday living. It was a follow-up to her conversation with us on silence power in a previous episode of Open Your Eyes to the Universe. But here tonight, we're in the company of Warren Carey, a daily practitioner of Raj Yoga meditation for well over 40 years. Warren has an incredibly interesting background. He's always had a keen interest in the martial arts, and by age 18 he achieved a black belt in karate. But after a pledge of non-violence, he changed his focus to internal martial arts. And he's now a Qigong master, a Tai Chi practitioner, and a pranic healer. And Warren has travelled widely, sharing the spiritual practice of Raj Yoga meditation as taught by the Brahma Kumaris, but equally, he's been sharing his pranic healing and Qigong gifts. He's currently based in the Blue Mountains Retreat Centre in Nura in New South Wales. So that's just a little bit about Warren, but tonight he's with us and we're sharing a conversation with him on self-healing meditation. And it is much needed. In our fast-paced world, stress, fatigue, and emotional strain have become our constant companions. I'm sure they're big companions of you as well. And yet within each of us lies a natural power to restore balance, to restore peace, and to restore our vitality. It's the power of self-healing. And through meditation, we can awaken this inner intelligence and allow the mind and body to return to their natural state of harmony.
Mm, mm,
So, self-healing meditation is not about escaping life's challenges, but about changing how we meet them. When the mind becomes still and centered, the body responds. Tension releases, energy begins to flow, and clarity replaces confusion. And we begin to understand that true healing starts from within, with the thoughts we hold, the awareness we nurture, and the love we extend to ourselves. So during this special talk, Warren's
mm.
going to explore this connection between mind, energy, and well-being. And he'll also share some practical techniques to activate your own self-healing power. So, Warren, it's great to have you with us this evening. It's so lovely that you've taken the moment to join us on Open Your Eyes to the Universe, and it's a joy to have you with us. So, thank you for joining.
Likewise, Gabriel, thank you very much.
I'm looking forward to this conversation. We've had many offline conversations about self-healing, Warren, and
Uh,
I know it's a particular passion of yours and one that you've dedicated a good part of your life to. And I wondered if you could begin by explaining to us what self-healing meditation is. I'm fairly sure there'll be a lot of misconceptions about that, and we'd really welcome your wisdom on it. And I'd
yeah.
like to sort of into that equation, if you could wrap things like, how do we actually awaken inner peace? How do we release stress? And how do
Mm,
we actually restore our natural balance and vitality? And I'd like
mm,
to also check in with you about, can Raj Yoga heal more deeply than
mm.
this? So
Cool.
it's a big orbit I've just sort of
Th-
introduced you into. So over to you, Warren. Let's hear what you have to say. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you, Gabriel, and thanks everyone for your attention. Um, yeah, long ago, I was like 10 years into meditation. I received a vision, and that vision was of what I understood to be my astral body. And inside that astral body, what I saw, I was appalled. It had in it the echoes, the bruises, the remnants of every disease, every trauma, every yuck that I've been through. It was a mess, my friends. It was a mess. It shocked me to my core. And being a Raj Yoga practitioner for 10 years, I was a little bit even angry. You know, why is this still here? Why has this not transformed? Why, if that be still underneath my rug, hidden from my normal cognitive level, if that energy still be there, how can I transform it? How can I remove it? And that took me on a huge journey. Yeah, my teacher, my spiritual teacher, this one, guided me to say, no, look, it's not good enough just to become bodiless and be in the light. You must use your intent to direct that supreme healing energy to wherever you want transformation. And I think that's the real kicker there, my friends. The essence of wherever there's sickness, sadness, negativity, trauma, bad memories, shine this amazing healing light upon it. And just like the sun can kill germs, the sun can bring back life. Many things the physical sun can do in a comparable manner. Connecting with the Supreme Soul, we can really start to transform these hidden spiritual levels. But now, Gabrielle, you've opened up a huge conversation because it's our physical body is of the earth, it's of the five elements. And the spiritual energy, that's more good for this, like more invisible mind level stuff. So to actually transform the physical. But the human world, it's full of energy. But we are disconnected from it by virtue of being semi-asleep, that we're actually connected with Mother Nature. All the elements of nature are inside our bodies, and yet we live in what I'd call some type of plastic bag that separates us from being able to just draw in this life-giving, healing energy from Mother Earth into our bodies. So just the attitude to be able to, I call it unzip the ego, unzip the illusion of separation, and just with that one thought that I am not separate, that the sun, I can draw the sun, the water, the spirit of the water energy into my body, the fresh air, the earth, the crystalline properties of the earth. The physical body responds. I'm grasping for my next thoughts here because there's so much I've got in mind to share with you all. Okay, another part of self-healing. To be truly healthy isn't just to have your physical body working very nicely. It can be also how strong you are, how's your bone density, how's your stamina, but on a more subtle level. The, how's your wisdom? How's your sense of humor? How's your heart? Are you loving? Are you joyous? That too must surely be part of health. Mental come emotional health, yes? And even higher than that. Do you have the ability to hold your mind on one thought that you choose to think? Can you fall asleep when you choose to fall asleep? Or does your mind keep on going? I'll tell you a humorous story on as I broach that subject. I was walking the streets in Taiwan. I was over there training Tai Chi, living in a Taoist temple, by the way, just, yeah, dropping names here and been there and done that. But this complete stranger came to me, and over there, Westerners are a novelty. And this stranger came to me and spoke to me in English and said, I have a computer program in my apartment, and it can tell you everything that's wrong with your body. Do you want to come? And I said, why not? So I went in, I held these probes in my hands, and he put me on this thing, and it went ding dong dong dong, ding 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 ding. And then he started to describe to me everything that was not working properly in my body. He was able to assess all these um, signs, signatures, or whatever you call them. But the punchline at the end, he looked at me and said, are you sleeping well? And I said, no. And he said to me, because you are not sleeping well, all of this is a house of cards. Everything's not working. Little things are falling. You're not getting nourished by your sleep. So, my dear friends, so when I broach this whole topic of self-healing, it's not just, oh, let's do some magic or spiritual energy. Sometimes the magic is we have to return to nature. Get to bed on time, drink fresh water, eat fresh food, not all this processed stuff and live on caffeine. So yeah, exercise each day. And I like to, because I'm in this mood right now, yeah, laugh a lot more too. And the more you love, then love will flow through you and you'll feel alive. You'll feel human rather than someone who's poor, someone who's empty. When a person feels like that, then they start to eat comfort food. They start to sit on the couch all the time. How can health be restored if we start to, from a poor state of mind, live a poor state of life? I gave up healing people. Oh, I'll certainly get out of my way for loved ones. But normal people, I would teach them how to heal themselves. And the very reason why I'm into self-healing is the actual journey into true healing is on a multiple level. And it is so subtle and complex. You have to gain wisdom, change your attitude to things. Through that, even start to reprogram your emotional response to life and even uproot a whole lot of hidden, devious belief systems. And I know one that I'm battling with, not really battling, I'm overcoming it. But all my life, I've been a little bit crucified by time. And I've been reflecting on, I think for many lifetimes, time has been a whip. Time is money, they say. Time is everything. And if you're fast at doing something, you're the winner. Imagine moving through life with this belief that time is so important. And how long would it take me or someone also who's a stress head, a worrisome thing, to really start to uproot this deep belief system? How to do it? Affirmations go a long way, my friends. Self-talk. Keep coaching yourself. What is true? What is false? Will I be happy when I get to my destination quickly? Or I can be happy now as I'm driving my car or working through my daily to-do list. Do not, my friends, there's a question that's going to be coming or has already been offered, how to de-stress. Learn to be in the now. And when you are present in the now, you'll feel like you're able to whistle as you walk along rather than racing to this illusionary goal that when I finish, then I can be happy. When I finish, then I can be peaceful. Please, these unconscious or sometimes very conscious patterns are sabotaging the very way I'm thinking, even the depth of your breath. Take a deep breath. You've got all the time in the world. At least have that belief. And you'll find that I'll find that that happiness that I used to think I'd get when I did all my jobs, actually, I can have now. That peace I can have now. For stress is sometimes said that your heart is not where you are. Your heart, you've given it to your destination and you are in another place, but your heart's here. And that tension in between where your heart is and where you actually are, be it working through your daily office duties or you're driving a car somewhere. As soon as I call my heart to be where I am, what a self-healing that is. I breathe better, my body's working better, I'm happier. And again, I get back to this happiness thing. It's your happiness, my happiness. And I've studied 6 different forms of healing, not just pranic healing. I went right down the rabbit hole, even how to use sound for healing. Um, in one modality, or maybe a few, but they said happiness is linked to your immune system. It's also linked to your auric field. If you have a strong sense of happiness that you never lose, then it's like you've got this etheric force field around you of positive energy. And that will repel not just bad thoughts of others, but it will attract good energy. You'll be walking along the streets and people will say, "Oh, hello, how are you?" And they'll give you a smile. What's attracting that? You holding that positive energy. Now, another question I recall out of those 5 you offered, Gabrielle, can Raj Yoga even do more? Number one, the greatest sickness that we all have is spiritual amnesia. Amnesia, my friends. We're falling asleep behind the wheels. You think you're your motor car, and yet you are not that. You're not that body. You're not that mind. You are spirit. Wow. So to revive and awaken the higher truth of who you truly are, not an ego, not a role, but you are an actor here, and this is all naught but a game. If we don't live our life with that awareness that this is a game, it's a battlefield, isn't it? Worries and fears and knots in the tummy and struggling through life. How can that be defined as health? So one, awakening self. Two, I haven't found hardly anything that can actually, in all these modalities, actually dive in deep enough to transform subconscious energy. P.S. In your subconsciousness are all those defective patterns, sometimes bad memories that you would love to burn off and jettison. Yes, a lot of psychology is aimed at trying to dig that out, and there's a specialized field looking at trauma. But to use this amazing energy that can burn the very seed, i.e., they are just thoughts, my friends. Trauma is emotionalized thoughts, is my opinion. But even them, that divine power has this exercising ability. And I think you're letting me off the leash tonight. And I'm not just talking to Raj yogis here, but that also gives me license to be as esoteric as I'd like. Well, I used to believe I had something inside me, like a real dark monster. And I tried to evict it, get out, get out, get out. And one of my teachers finally gave me the magic ingredients. He said, use silence power. So I'd often sit for like 8 hours in dead silence. And this one particular time, this thing came out of me like Godzilla. It was screaming, it was hopping mad. Just keeping it really simple, it was a very traumatic past life that never found peace. And that energy, somehow, like a haunted house, was still rummaging around in my unconscious mind, deep inside. But when certain triggers would be offered, it would come forward and I'd go, what? Who are you? And so even that type of level of healing, Raja Yoga, my friends, and that power of ding dong dong, a word from our sponsor, not just sitting there doing pranic breathing or fluffing up your chakras, hey, which is fantastic. I'll give you a chakra meditation tonight, all going well. That is also part of the conversation of healing. But the depth of Raj Yoga, it is the cherry on top of the pudding, the diamond on top of all the rubies and sapphires. So Gabrielle, please, what have I spoken long enough? Guide me, please. I can't hear you, Gabrielle. What's happening? Your
Yeah, no,
side?
you can now. Thanks, Warren. Yes, really appreciating where you're taking us. I think it would be lovely to do a meditation now, and perhaps on the chakras, cleaning out the chakras, as you just mentioned. Let's go there, shall we?
Yeah, it's a lovely, lovely journey. So, firstly, let me define what chakras are. They are energy centers, but they're not just energy. They are where certain emotions and qualities come through how, uh, let me call it mind body. Just want to use generic terms. Each different chakra is an energy wheel that's turning, and you can pass the energy through to clear it. But the extra that I will add, not just working with energy, but also with consciousness. The antidote to negative thinking is positive thinking. The antidote to, let me call it vices, is virtues. So I'll guide you by way of commentary to bring this energy through the different chakras, and I'll describe it as we go along and flush it out also with virtues. How do you call virtues? Just with intent. All right, let's do it. So take a deep breath, relax your body. Don't just relax your physical body, but relax your mental and emotional body. Yeah, your mind. Breathe out any tension, physical, emotional, mental, release it. Now I'm going to start at the bottom. I don't know if I always do that, but here we go. The root of your body, the color of that chakra is red. Ask that chakra, is there any violence, any fear, aggression in that chakra? How do you walk the earth? If the answer is yes, don't start a psychological process. No. Rather, just from the divine, imagine the supreme light and this divine red energy you can direct into your root chakra, pushing out any fear, any fight or flight out of that root and replacing that rajasic energy with non-violent strength, might, divine might. Now coming through your root chakra in this beautiful red color. the color of might. Hope by talking like this, you've got the first one down. Next, we'll move quicker. Next is called the sacral chakra. It's where your vital and creative energy is. So ask that part of your being, is there any blockage in my creativity? Any blockage in my vitality? Yeah, sexual stuff's there too. So any confusions there? Hey, if the answer is yes, again, don't talk to it. Just push it out and draw from the divine sun this beautiful orange energy. Orange, yes, it's orange, creative, vital energy. And let that restore a balance in your yin and yang, androgynous, creative energy, vital energy, filling that part of your lower belly where it's located, with this beautiful orange energy. You can close your eyes if it helps you visualize these colors, but next chakra, uh, solar plexus, color here is yellow. Asa chakra, is there any stress, any anxiety? This is where those defects, those problems sit, bad emotions sit. If there's yes, then just breathe it out. And once again, reach up to the divine and draw in this beautiful yellow energy. And consider that this yellow energy is the color of joy. Fill your belly with happiness, your solar chakra. Yeah, solar chakra. With happiness. So each breath, as you breathe, you feel that you're breathing in happiness and you're breathing in joy. Not just enjoy, but in joy. Feel like the sun of happiness is shining in your belly. It'll help your digestion too, eh? Next, your heart. Move your consciousness there. The color of this chakra, according to yogis, is green. But if you want a pink one or a golden one, hey, there's no rule saying otherwise. But sticking with green, ask your heart, is there any blockage, any wound, any rubbish caught in your heart? Any mindset that creates a small heart? If there is, just feel like you can just throw it out. Rubbish, rubbish, get out. Where did I get that notion from? And from the divine, breathe in this beautiful green energy, the energy of love, of healing. All nurses have green auras, the loving ones. And fill your heart with this unconditional love, expanding your heart wide, a generous heart, a compassionate heart, a heart that knows that everyone is part of them and you are part of everyone. Feel that connectivity with everyone. They might not be perfect, but deep inside, we're all love. Now the throat chakra, sky blue is the color here. And of course, it is the chakra of communication. But the virtue here is peace. Can you express clearly what you feel? Can you express clearly what you think from your brain out your throat? Is there any blockages there? Being able to speak from your heart or from your head through your throat and throw it out. Maybe someone told you, hurry up, I don't want to listen to you. Come on, you're stupid, I don't want to hear you. Reject those thoughts. They are curses in a manner. Push them out. They're just rubbish. And now from the divine, draw in this beautiful sky blue energy and shine it through your throat. The color of peace, divine peace through your throat, so you can peacefully communicate what's in your heart and what's in your head. Feel each chakra expanding and breathing again, enlivening, if there be such a word. You're coming alive. Next, third eye. Here, the color is indigo, sits in the center of your forehead. In this context of the way I'm talking, this is the seat of where negative thinking can sit, or limited thinking. Um, what's that word? Yeah, one-sided thinking. Ask yourself, in any way, are you so biased, limited, self-righteous in the way you think? If the answer is yes, push it out. Push it out. Just throw it out. And from the divine, from the absolute source of positivity and broad-mindedness, from unlimited knowledge, bring that energy, indigo energy, and shine it through your brain, through your third eye, broadening your mind so you see both sides of everything, not just one side. Far-sighted, broad-minded, positive, optimistic outlook on everything. Broaden your view of life. And the crown chakra's next. Its color is violet. This is your principal doorway, your connection with the divine. Ask yourself, do you believe that the divine exists, whether he, she is close to you, whether you are loved as you are, accepted as you are? If any of the answers is no, throw it out. Rubbish, not true. You've accepted some toxic religious belief. Not true, not true, not true. And now breathe in this divine violet energy into your crown. You are so connected with the divine if you open yourself to be such. You're so loved, accepted the way you are. Sure, bit of transformation to do, but you are loved. So, so loved. Breathe in this light of love, of closeness, of belonging. Now, in closing, from the divine light, change it all to white light and send it through your central column. Your body's like a Christmas tree, energetically or in a chakra sense. Send this divine light, not just virtue, but divine energy, through the crown, into your brain, throat, heart, navel, solar, and out your root. Hyper blessing every level of your emotional come energy body. Feel it come out your hands, out your feet. And if there be any weak spot as we went through that Christmas tree of your inner lights, now visualize this divine light, white light, just totally pushes out, removes, transforms that blockage. Hope you enjoyed it, my friends. Yeah, you could sit for half an hour, you could sit for an hour, the rest of the day, and that energy just sparkling. But that's the heart of a chakra, balance and alignment.
Thank you, Warren. I love the way you gently took us through those different chakras and explained in a beautiful commentary type way how, what could be sitting there and how to release it. And I'm sure that people will come back to this commentary and re-listen to it and re-experience it. So thank you very much for that.
I-
Um,
I'd like to
I
give,
wanted to.
sorry, I beg,
I wanted to just invite you into more conversation and deliberation and your thoughts around. I'm wondering if you could explain the connection between soul, which you've started to touch on,
mm,
um, thoughts, which you have definitely been talking about, energy and well-being,
mhm,
um, and and I don't want to leave it there. I'd like you then to sort of share with us some of the specific techniques you use for
mhm,
directing healing energy for your own self healing. And I know that we, as yogis, we frequently send the power of good wishes and healing vibrations to someone who may be in a spot of trouble physically with their body or whatever.
yeah,
But I'd like you to just sort of unpack this aspect of the connection between soul, thoughts, energy, well-being, and some of the techniques you use in terms of self-healing.
sure, sure, sure. Thank you, Gabriel.
Thank you. Thanks, Warren.
Um, in the physical world, when Mother Nature is in a state of balance, there's enough rain, there's enough sunshine, there's healthy land, and all manner of vegetables and fruits are growing. But if it's too hot, too much sunshine, too much wind, too much water, things can't grow, things aren't healthy. So, as a metaphor, in a similar way, inside our own being, the soul power, the inner light, could be compared with the solar power, the light. It offers heat. The moon, the metaphor is always the mind in the moon. Emotions, the mind. The mind offers magnetic energy. The mind helps all the seeds grow at night or germinate. It pulls the tides. The mind, the moon, has, I don't know, I'm not a scientist, but magnetic or gravitational power to draw water. So, seeing that metaphor, when there's some problem in the body, yeah, physical body, which by that metaphor I'm talking, that's the earth. That's your living organism. Shine the light there, but not too much. The light of your good wishes. Place your mind there, and where your mind goes, energy will flow. And that metaphor of the moon pulling the tides, my friends, it is an absolute truth that in every Qigong club, they will have this dictum. I think that's a word for it, a saying. Mm. Mind moves qi, qi moves blood. What's qi? Magnetism. It's an energy. It is magnetic energy. So when you place your mind somewhere, then it will, by default, draw the tide, draw the blood to start to move there, if you so have that intent. And the same description can be said of the sun. When you place your solar power, as in the concentration of your soul on something, what does the sun do to the physical world? It too helps things grow, blossom, germinates everything. Um, I could be wrong there, but it certainly helps the photosynthesis. The sun also creates the currents in the oceans. The currents aren't just happening, that's actually a secondary effect of the sun warming certain areas of water, and then the rivers start to flow. So, in a similar way, imagine the power then of you properly, of I properly directing my concentration power or my emotional power, I in mind, over something that might start to need a bit of love. Like, hey, bodies have problems, stresses come to them. I'd also like, as I go there, just this description of the way healthy life energy moves. In the physical world, picture a lake and it's polluted water. It's gone stagnant. The sun will shine on it. It'll evaporate the water. It will rise up into the sky. It will cool down and then rain down as fresh, life-giving water in a comparable manner. Your internal life energy. And I'm not just talking how mind and soul power affects this energy, but if this chi, this life energy rises up, no matter where it is, it can be purified as it rises up. It will cool and condense, then return as fresh, life-giving energy. Super amazing, my friends. Super amazing. As a little side story there, I was being trained by this exquisite Qigong master, and I was walking around barefoot. And she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "What?" And she said, "You should always keep your feet warm." And then she went off into this big spiel. She said the Tibetan monks, they have shaved head, hardly nothing on top, but their legs, they wear Ugg boots and they've heavy trousers. And they're sending the heat from downstairs to rise up, get cooled, and then come back down. And then she giggled and said, by contrast, a fashionable woman, at least in the 60s, might be wearing a fur coat, a fur hat, and miniskirt and showing her kidneys. And she was going, "Do, do, 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 do." Not good for G flow. Not right, not right, not right. Anyway, so our thoughts. Hmm. Now, further thinking. Another little anecdotal story. I woke up one morning, I was in India, and I had this terrible sickness come to me. And I woke up and I had to, that day, escort 30 people across India. And that's a real mind-numbing event. And there I was feeling sick first thing in the morning, and it was like in my guts. And I said to my guide, I said, "Baba, I feel sick." And he said, "Cancel that thought. Don't have that thought. Have the thought, I am well. And hold that thought, I am well. I am well." And I locked it in. I just said, "I am well, and I will be able to travel with good health." And it was like I gave myself a decree, a command, and my body, even my emotions, just obeyed this decree from on high. Sure enough, I traveled across India with no problems with my health, got back to Australia, and then boom, boom, after bed and crook as a dog. But I noticed that the power of my mind over matter, ah, it's listening to you. And another one, last time I went to India, I met my mentor and he asked me, "How's your health?" I said, "Oh, I'm getting old." And he said, "Warren, I want you to always tell yourself, I am well. I am well. I am well." And as he said this here's this, you imagine me, I've studied 6 different types of healing modalities, blah, 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 blah. Overthinking a lot of it, by the way. But there, this simple command, And we've said with love, not with fear, with love. If you fear, then it won't work. If you're angry, it won't work. You say it with love. A command with love to your servants or your subjects, which is your body. You're the master. Be well. And this year, many little niggling problems have come to me. And I'm using this so regularly. And I'm feeling like clouds. They come, they try and sit over me, but they're just in their time leaving. I'm going, hold on. That problem I had last month's not here anymore. It's gone. It's gone. And so this whole mind over matter, soul power, Master Almighty, we call it in Raj Yoga. You are the boss, but if you don't believe you are, you aren't in a position, a seat over the lower energies. Mm. Is my internet unstable? I've got another Wi-Fi here if required. Just sing out, okay?
It was just dropping out a little bit there. So your words were slurring a bit, but it's come back in now, Warren. So it might be okay. It might
Okay.
hold.
So there's some practical mind over matter type of soul power, thought power that's even affecting the physical. But now let me go into that final frontier. There's this saying, healer, heal thyself. Many healers go off and do courses and they can heal other people. But when it comes to looking after the self, they got to go to someone else. But in Raj Yoga, you learn to become egoless, bodiless, like separate from your physical self, from your emotional, mental self. You can observe yourself carrying on and go, okay, I'm now in a position, an energetic and intelligent position that I can then see what I'm up to. And I can then start to adjust. Now, don't think like that, Warren. Think like this. It's like there's a higher self is awakened. So you can then be your own shrink, your own healer. As Gabrielle said, I learned pranic healing and I got quite good at it. But I also had, through the blessings of Raj Yoga, an ability to feel that I was just outside my body. I'd walk around my body, spring cleaning my aura, tick, 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 sweeping energy. Now let's do a quick chakra clearance. Boop, 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 boop. And I just sit there and sleep would never come to me because I can move my energy. Stagnant energy wouldn't hold me and make, "Ugh." If something was on me, I could just push it out. And I dare say a blessing is there that I've learned to awaken the soul identity, soul self, angel self, the higher self. If that's not awakened, then yeah, you'll have to go to someone else when you're really dealing with stuff that's really holding on. Now, and secondly, this subconscious stuff. My friends, that bottom of your wardrobe, what's swept underneath the carpet. They say time heals. Quietly, my friends, nah, just the sands of time has gone over it. That stuff's still hidden, still hidden. And so if you really want to clean your chit, CHIT, the depth of your memory track, the Raj Yoga process is what we call volcanic yoga. The actual light has to go right down into your metaphoric soul belly, not just in your heart, not just in your head. I'm talking spiritually, but using the physicality of just as a metaphor, so you've got some idea of what I'm saying. But in the subconsciousness, if you can draw in this amazing creative healing energy, the energy of love and truth, to start to exercise your basement of all those bats, bad memories, and even sometimes, like I described, the trauma that's maybe even hanging over from past, the bad, bad energies that, and we've all been through the school of hard knocks. I don't think anyone's walking the earth who hasn't kind of like really been a bit brutalized by life. But what a wonderful goal that you can heal your heart and your unconscious self so you can love as if you've never been hurt. Laugh as if you don't have a care in the world. You know, as they say, dance like no one's watching. Gabrielle, let's have a meditation now. Would that be suitable?
I think that's a great idea, Warren. And I've got a couple of questions coming in, but I'd like us to pause and do a meditation now on this
I,
aspect that you've just been talking about. So we'll do questions later on. Thanks, Warren.
Thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you, thank you. So you don't have to be as bodiless and skilled in that areas in this meditation. I won't take you there. That's for someone who practices a good deal. But right now, visualize the Supreme Soul, and the easiest metaphor for that is to picture when you're looking at the sun. Not a star, no, make it sunlight, nice and bright. And now, through intent, we'll guide this sunlight to transform and heal different levels of our being. So, firstly, connect your intellect, your mental self, your brain with this light, and visualize this amazing knowledge, this truth, not just divine light coming into your mental field, filling it with silence, expansive, opening your brain to perceive the connectivity of all things. White light, silence, filling your brain, filling your intellect, making it into a divine intellect, magical intellect. Next, guide the energy into your mind. The mind metaphor for that is the heart, where you have your emotions, your emotional self. And now imagine not the light of knowledge and truth, but now from the divine, from the supreme soul, imagine unconditional, unlimited love, like a fire, a kindly fire though, to arrive in your heart, fierce love, burning and expanding your love to be unlimited, a heart that loves all, and yet none in particular. Love for life, love for nature, love for existence, love for God. As you can tell, you could sit in this type of meditation a long time. But now the subconsciousness, the metaphor for that is your belly, but no, it's not your physical belly, but just metaphorically. The basement, the under the normal conscious level of mind and intellect. Your library, yeah, your library. How to get there? Just intent, my friends. Have the intent. Now, visualize this divine love and light, this knowledge, this truth, and call it down into your subconsciousness, where your sanskaras dwell. And feel as if you've opened up the basement door and you've taken this beautiful, beautiful love bomb, divine love bomb down into the recesses of your unconscious self. Now, don't use psychology here. No, 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 no. Too much sorrow down here. Just use a love bomb, a bomb of godly love. Imagine it exploding, obliterating any darkness. And call forward. If there's anyone, any part of me that's been looking for God, looking for love, looking for truth, come forward. Come forward out of the shadows and imagine a crying child, a nun, a monk, a warrior, a mother that's confused to come and enter into this being of love itself, the fire of love. Now feel your subconsciousness full of light, your mind full of light, your intellect full and aligned. Oh, pulsating as if you've swallowed the divine. Volcanic yoga, my friends. It's coming from deep inside, then talking with each other, going up and down. Take a deep breath. Come back to some normal level of consciousness. Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Intent, my friends. Intent. Have the intent. Like a kid with a magnifying glass. If you want to set fire of something, you concentrate the light, particularly on what you want to burn. Similarly, don't just sit in meditation and think about flowers and cows or what's for dinner tonight. Use this direct energy to transform. Hey, Gabrielle. Thank you.
So, Warren, thank you for that second meditation. I want to get some specific questions coming in here. And the first one I'm kicking off with is this whole aspect of the divine. So, who is that one to you? And
Well,
how do you draw down that energy? And what is your relationship with that one?
well, sounds like a opening for me to give the Racha Yoga course. Um,
Just your experience.
sure. I've always liked to think of the divine as a famous title, Sat Chit Anat. Sat Chit Anat. Literally, that means the truth, that which is immortal, that which is ever pure, that which is thinking and living, and that which is bliss. I would sit every morning trying to commune, not just with a point of light. No, that was sterilized. I wanted to feel the bliss of God's being. I wanted to actually talk and communicate like that being's conscious. He's the smartest, what, SI, supreme intelligence in the whole cosmos. And of course, in that presence, to actually enter into a state of full-blown awaken of my own soul. Each one of us is spirit. And as this spirit communes with the Supreme Soul, then the reality of that is so strong. if you're a new Raj Yogi or never come across it, my friends, a lot of people are just loving human beings. They are God-loving human beings. They're a man or woman adoring the idea of there being a being of love, a being of wisdom. Wonderful. You've got the foundation nicely there. But this step, we must also realize our own soul, consider or see or have the identity that I'm not this blob of flesh. Look at it, it's skin over bones. How can this relate to bliss? What? It's just skin over bones. It is innate. But inside of me and you, there is this conscious being. And I'll tell you something mind trippy. I used to think anyone who had consciousness had to have a face, two eyes, and a mouth, a nose. But as you meditate, you realize no, that which is consciousness does not need face. The actual thinking being is faceless. Whoa. Talk about a journey into awakening, something that's surreal. But the reality of that experience when you touch your own light and then connect with the supreme supernova. It's goodbye, Kansas. Wherever you are, you'll just disappear. It took me 4 weeks before I had any idea of, I just had the theory and I'd try and meditate each day. But one morning I felt him come for me. And it's like this crown chakra opened up, third eye opened up, and I exploded in this energy field that I felt my auric field, just like in the movies, just enveloped the whole city I was in, not just the room. And I went, That's what I was expecting." Even though not expecting, I didn't know what I was looking for, but it was a real statement of, you want to touch the actual creator, the divine mother, father. Hmm, you've arrived. And I went to the center and I asked my teacher, I told him, "Oh, this happened this morning." And he was so nonchalant, he just turned away and said, "Oh, that's good. Have you started to communicate with God yet?" And I went, "What?" So I walked out very sheepishly after having a less than celebratory reply from my teacher. I sat in my car and I felt like I was talking to the air. And I said, "Hello, is there someone there? I do have some questions. If you are there, here they are." And to my great, great shock, I was answered in words that I don't use, telling me knowledge that I honestly did not know. And from there, I was signed up member, going, "What?" Not just the power to transform energy, but my friends, a lot of our sickness is because we're ignorant. We don't have a guide. Someone's not guiding us how to live. But having a guide doesn't mean that's game over. No, you've still got to listen and you've still got to be a good student. Change your lifestyle because often one's lifestyle, what you're eating, what you're thinking, how you're behaving, is the cause of your illness. And what underpins that? Being stupid, being ignorant of the laws of nature. So that divine through energy, through communication, wow, you've got a chance then to start to be a really happy and enjoy your game of life down here rather than I'm fighting with everything. Thanks, Gabrielle. You're back.
So, Warren, do you think everyone has to have those sorts of experiences to be able to learn to connect with the divine? Or do we each have our own? Or what's your
Yeah,
take on that one?
I think you've answered my that already. I'm grateful for it. Yeah, each one's different. For me, I've always been a bit psychic. Not everyone's like that. But I had a hell of a childhood. ghosts were annoying me and all these terrible feelings. And I've been kicked around an awful lot because I'm aware of that other level of life. But if you're not, still, the very basics of meditation, take your mind inwards, away from your life. Don't be a voyeur of life. Life doesn't give you happiness. You are the one projecting happiness on life. I'll say that 10 times to you. Life does not give you happiness. You and I, we project our love on life. We are the projector. The soul is expressing itself. And when you start to go in and touch that and then go up and connect with the Great One, whatever that form will be, but it will be what it is to you, what
Mm.
it is to you. But do
Mm.
practice talking and then listening. Don't just talk, listen. So commune and communicate. But the best communicators, Gabrielle, as you know, is one who listens more than they talk. I'm laughing because, we talk like this together. Mm.
Thanks, Warren. Here's another question that's come in is you are a Qigong master. Can you explain what role does physical movement or activity play in emotional healing?
Emotional healing. Wow, what a question. Well, firstly, waving your hands around without mind behind it is very superficial. You have to use your mind. It is mind moving the energy. Now, what actually is then happening is when you, let me backtrack a bit. When learning Tai Chi, you're just learning the routine, la, 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 la. But after a lot of practice, you start to know it by heart. And it's particularly when you know it by heart that you can do it by your heart, that you add so much emotional power in it that the energy starts to just be beaming out of your body. So your question though, and I'm just moving your hands and emotions. Hmm, they are indirectly related, but I would rather tell you to move emotions, to improve your emotions. Okay, unconsciously, to a lesser degree, it will help you. But something I will tell you very strongly. After I play Tai Chi or Qigong, I always have the habit because I know there's greater forces than Qi, greater forces than Mother Nature, i.e. angels, i.e. Buddhas, i.e. the Supreme. I then sit in meditation with a clear aura and I ask for blessings. And this otherworldly, higher than human chi, higher than universal chi, and that energy is imbued with some type of divine virtue and magic, like it's coming from God. And it's beyond what any normal healer would or Qigong master would ever wield. I'm opening up a whole new reality talking like this to you, hey? This conversation then is where Qigong meets the more spiritual practice of Raj Yoga. I hope I haven't directly answered, but I've offered a collage around your question. I hope you can take something from what I've just said.
No, that's
But
good. Thank you, Warren. That's useful indeed. I want to move into another question here that's around how can I cultivate self-compassion in
wow.
my healing practice? How can I cultivate self-compassion?
Mm. Well, you've bowling a Yorker there. It would be a man. You'll know what I mean. Self-compassion. Mm. I would talk to you initially as on a psychological level that it is said that we are in a classroom of life. You've come here to face trials and tribulations, to learn lessons. When you goof up, P.S., you will, before you get it right, then in that attitude that you're a student of life, you've come here to learn, you're not so righteous in your judgment about when you have messed up. By default, you are more motherly, compassionate, you're more cheering yourself on. But if you have an ego-driven attitude of, I've messed up, I've got so much sin, I regret, oh, I'm so angry with my choices. No, no. Even God will tell you you're not God. You are born with human errors in you. You will have to face these. Um, but here's the secret. Don't just go, I'm human, so what? Rather, out of every error you've made, do glean wisdom. Only if you draw wisdom out of your mistake will that mistake no longer be a burden on your self-respect, on your love for yourself. Rather, you'll say, I had to make that mistake so I could get to where I am now. I am a better person because I goofed up then. Hey, learning to ride a bike, you had to fall off 10 times before you could ride it. The falling off all was part of the process. Those cakes that you tried to cook and they flopped, they were all part of why you can now cook cakes perfectly. And my dears, it's not what you've done that matters in God's eyes. It's who you become. It's who you become by the end of your journey. Have you arrived? Have I arrived in a state of perfect love? And yeah, like your question, a loving compassion for yourself that cheers on and never says, I'm giving up and I'm no good. No, really support yourself emotionally. But again, my friends, understand where you are, what life is in this context, a classroom. And all students, they don't get all the answers without studying and trial and error. Mhm. Yeah, and I will then add, the headmaster of the school has as much love for those in grade bubs as those in sixth form, those in university. But you love them both equally because you're all in there trying. Similarly, you too, don't give up. Just, hey, let me learn lessons. And as you learn, hopefully the problem will become, hey, part of why I'm such a great, happy dudette now. Yeah.
It's great. Thank you, Warren. Some lovely, lovely wisdom in there. Here's a question here, and it's that they say laughter is the best medicine. Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you, Gabrielle. Lovely question. Um, yeah, I've done laughter yoga. Some guru came out from India, and I thought, let's go along. I'm a bit of a worrywart and a cheery cherub at the same time. Well, he had us laughing at um, all our problems. We're lying on the floor, and I was laughing so hard. Tears were pouring out my face because I was worried about so many trivial things. And I took from that wonderful workshop of how to teach laughter yoga that every morning I would think of my problems for the day. Yeah, I used to worry a lot, and I'd purposely laugh at it. Now, there's three levels of laughter I got taught. He is like you're snickering up here. Ha 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 is more heart, and ho ho is the belly laugh. So I'd be there, waking up and these problems, oh, you've got to face this today. And I'd just start to laugh at it. He, ha ha ha, ho. And I'd keep on laughing in the face of my adversity. And what happened by default? My problems shrunk from a big Godzilla into a little mouse, and I became the master of my life. I could laugh at all my problems. Hey, today you've got to give your eulogy. Your father's died. I'm scared. Laugh at it, Warren. Laugh at it. Laugh at it. Laugh at it. And then I can face this deadline. Come on. You'll be laughing about it tomorrow too. But I don't mean laughter in a disrespectful manner, but I mean it is such, it frees emotions and it changes what you think's bigger than you. You know, you are the lion of your life, the lioness of your life, rather than I'm a mouse and I'm scared about everything that might happen to me. Laugh at it and even laugh at your past. And then you'll go, oh, one day I'll look back at this and say, what a hoot. I thought it was such a crazy time rather than, oh, I'm still crying. Oh, I'm in agony. It might be like that, but do your best to not lose your sense of humor. It's such a sign of good health, hey?
It's lovely. Thank you, Warren, very much. So I would like us to close out with a couple of things, and I think we've got time for you to do a third meditation. And
Oh,
I'd like to see you focus, if possible, on taking us into that experience of the divine, the connection with the divine.
pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Right now? All right. I would take you there in a different way because we all got to do something different here. Hmm. My friends, straight away, see yourself in the world of your mind. We all live in two realities, normal humans, simultaneously the physical and your mind. You live in your mind all the time, your hopes and fears, yeah? Your, your thoughts about everything, your psychodrama. Just sit there. Now, in the world of your mind, see yourself sitting there. And now visualize above you the sky of your mind is where the spiritual sun is shining. And visualize this light from the divine comes over and through your mind body, transforming your mind body full of light, like a body of a bright, bright, bright angel. Just feel this light pulsating, enveloping, healing your mind body, i.e., astral body, if you want some fancy words. P.S. Astral means star body. Wow. Now, feel the essence inside of you, that point of the immortal self, point of pure awareness, pure consciousness. And visualize that now that soul can travel up, up, up into the very corona, very presence of the Supreme. The first level will be in bright light and endless silence, expanding out far, far, far and wide. Next level, go in closer to the very level. Imagine now this fire of light, love light, bliss light, that you're communing with the ocean of bliss, the ocean of love. You could say this energy is golden, golden spiritual being. Now go in the third level into a state of pure truth, of immortality, of a silence that's only known in outer space. The experience of nirvana is compared with being in endless silence, a state of pure awareness, the I am. I am one with the Supreme. And now come back, come back. Hope you feel that deafening silence of mind, blissfully deafening. Sweet silence, sweet connection, and the love and the huge expanse of energy. Expansion and connection, they're part of the same conversation. When you're above this plane of separation, yeah, Gabrielle, it's a bit hard to come back, but welcome.
Thank you, Warren, very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's it's been a pleasure to listen to the things that you've been sharing tonight, Warren, and I'm really noticing how very personally you speak and how you share your experiences so openly. And there's many, many years and probably many, many lifetimes of wisdom in what you have to say. So our thanks and our blessings to you for sharing your wisdom on self-healing meditation. It's been an enriching conversation. And as I close out, I'd like you to please ask you to get ready with your didgeridoo so we can end after I've closed out with some music. But thank you for joining us on Youniverse tonight. So, viewers, we've been listening to Warren Carey, a Qigong master, a Tai Chi practitioner, a pranic healer, and most of all, a Raj Yoga meditation practitioner and student. And he's been sharing his insights and rich experiences on self-healing meditation. And if you'd like to subscribe to Open Your Eyes to the Youniverse, and Pete will put this up on the screen in a moment, you can receive monthly updates. So please email us at special.events@au.brahmakumaris.org. And I'd also like to mention that if you live, work, study, visit, or play in the Sydney CBD, visit us at I Meditate at 180 George Street. We're open every Thursday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So drop in for some quiet time in the midst of a very busy city. Maybe you'd like to do a meditation, a guided meditation, or join a group session or a weekly talk on personal empowerment and spirituality. So drop in, refresh and recharge, and let your worries disappear. And as always, it's free of charge. So this is our final episode of Open Your Eyes to the Youniverse for 2025. And what a year. What an amazing year. We'll be back with you in January 2026. So join us on Saturday, 24 January 26 for our first episode in the new year. And as usual, it'll be at our regular time, 6 p.m. AEDT. So we're closing out with some didgeridoo played by Warren. And until we see you again in the new year, enjoy the festive season with your family and friends. Take care. And as always, walk lightly on this earth. Om Shanti and bye for now from the Youniverse team.
Okay, we're in the clear.